ver gekom het, almal wat ons ondersteun, Boter wat elke jaar hier is, Boter, dankie vir jou en jou vrou, julle, my eie mense, oude langlys, maar jy weet julle kom van ver, en julle ondersteun ons waardeer dit baie. Ek dink dit is nie lekker veilig, maar as in die aansluitheid met mekaar kom, met die kuier, die slaap, ons waardeer dit elkeen van julle. Ek wil net eerstens begin op Amerika, ek sê baie dankie, en help in ons ervaring wat in die hoof staan, en dan het ons ook dank aan Skalk. Skalk is eister, die manier die ervaring aangeet, en jy weet wat gehelp het, baie dankie, waardeer het. Ek dink dat dan baie van die vermaakers kan by jou leer om te veilig te doen. So, baie dankie Skalk. Nou wil ek vir Connie en Maritza, waar is julle? Connie, hulle wat die screening te doen het. Connie is was die president en hy sorteer, hulle die screening vandag, baie dankie vir jou Connie, ons sorteer. En my eie mense, werkers in Christus, op die plaas is, waar, jy wil werk vir die werkers, Christus sal gaan. Mooi, jy is voor die Christus, die sit aan alle baie mooi. Nou, dankie vir julle moeite op die plaas, en allemaal op die plaas, jank julle, en allemaal op die plaas, Wafula, en wat julle daarvoor ons doen, ons beteken, ons waardeer dit baie, sonder julle, kan ons dit nie doen. Eindelijk boer julle, eindelijk keer julle die eerste, want julle is elke dag van julle dag, baie dankie. Dan, wil ek vir Wiaan sê, weet nie wat hy bijna weer weg nie, hy krijg op ons altyd weg in die boeken. Net vir Wiaan sê, baie dankie, hy werk in die boeken, toen voorwerkers de Christus waren, is het een nachtmiljoen, dat is die papierwerk, dat is myne, weet je, die zijn niet slecht, maar Wiaan, dankie vir al die moeite met die papierwerk, en as ons nou sit om het te wees, dan kom die dokter Wiaan, daar so, vir die voetkraal, baie dankie vir jou Wiaan. Dan wil ek vir Marie, wat Josie, sy PI is, en ander my PI, baie dankie sê my braai, en hy is een stekende kind. Dan wil ek vir Jolien sê, ek weet nie, sy is weer aan my PI, en baie dankie vir al jou moeite my kind, en vir Martin, van ons het eenmaal wil, en sê ek spoil maak, dan wil ek vir Roy sê, Roy was, Roy is uit, vir jou harde werk in die voetkraal, alle weet jy daar, baie dank. Dan? Nou, wil ek het so wel in die sê, dankie dat jy kom uit, en vir al julle moeite, en vir Robin, vir al julle die op en af gehaardie op dan as dit, ek dink Robin is al hartstikke vir ons, maar dankie my kind, ons waardeer het buiten baie. En dan wil ek vir Deel, die Sean wat agtergebleid, en die luister daar baie dankie sê. Dan wil ek vir Josie baie dankie sê, wat sy vir ons allemaal doen. Sy is WhatsApp control free, en sy hou ons allemaal in mekaar en sonder haasel en definitief nie gewees vandag. Dan is het jou baie dankie. Dan wil ek aan volgende die afsluiters vandag sê, sterkte vir hom. Ek het 'n moeilike taak, dit is 'n moeilike tye, veral vir ons in die beesbedryf. En dan wil ek vir Bakkies, wat maar soos 'n seep van my is, op sy dankie. Sterkte vir dit.
Dames en heren, baie welkom hier so vandag, regtig hartlik welkom aan ieder en elke persoon hierso. Vir my dankie sê almal wat so ver gery het, wat jaarliks elke jaar hier is, en hoop dat julle is altyd gelukkig. Vir die beeste wat julle kry, onthou net om staan regtig agter ons diere, en as daar 'n groot probleem is, dan is ons daar so, ons raak nie weg nie, en dit is ook baie belangrik in vandag se tye. Dis volhoubaarheid is vir ons baie belangrik. Ons wil jare sal met jou staan. Weet die beeste iemand is uiteindelik in vriendskap ook. So, gaan nie net alles eindelijk bezig met die vriendskap en verhouding is vir my van bakkies baie belangriker as dit kan geld nie loop nie. So. Alright, dames en heren, ons staan is vandaag gestreng kontant, bankgewaarborg, daar is 2 aanlyn platforms weerkant en livestock auctions wat gaan ek gaan die bod op 40.000 oopmaak. Ons gaan 5.000 bode gaan tot by 90 op 90.000 dan af om met nou stoet op kommersiële wil is. En dan die vrolijke dele gaan ek op 25 oopmaak en ons gaan op tussen 2 en 3.000 bote of ons gaan op 5.000 bote opgaan. En dan gaan ons dan boer 100 is 10.000 bote en boer 200 is 25.000 bote. Alright. En dan as dit dit daar speel platform so ek moet my hulle ek hou daarvan om die bot vanaf toe te maak. Ek wil nie jaarlang die bot koop nie, dit is toch amper 100 lotte. So dan vat hulle nou 'n bietjie tyd op meerkant en livestock om net die mense moet ook maar dink aan die agterkant en vat ook maar daar's 'n bietjie van 'n lag. Daar is nou die Engelse term gebruik van 'n lag van 'n paar millisekondes in 'n ons toe, so dit vat ons 'n bietjie tyd. Alright, dames en heren, en dan voor ons vanaf wil begin, is daar enige vrae wat gevra gaan word hierso, kan jy my nou vra, of van sekerhede is, kan jy my ook vra, ek wil ook die duidelikhede uitwys as daar 'n verandering op die katalog is, dan sal ek ook veel uitwys. Maar ja, ons kan die dag begin en ek hoop julle almal geniet hierso vandag. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with lot number 1. Lot number 1, sy naam is Shelby. Shelby is wat ons gebruik het 3 jaar lang. Dit is ook gebruik op die vers, om die versie op te maak op 2 genetika, wie al gewas van die boer het gesê op my gevra het. Om met een baie goeie besonderse lengte. Die bil praat afzet vir onsself, dit is een van die laaste Mustang seuns wat ons het tot vandag ver. Ek dink ook een van die laaste hulpseuns, so van hieraf is die bloed maar baie gemeng met die Produksieveiling wat kom. So ek wil net vir julle sê, sy steek in 'n mooie som en hy het toch gespeen 303 kg, maar sy geboortegewig was 28 kg gewees. So die wil is vir ver, en by ons so tussen 50 en 60 vers gedek en drink vir 9 maande lang. So as ek moet sê, daar kom 30 vers uit, dan gaan hy 30 vers terug. So hy het 'n moerhuisbol op vers gedek in sy tyd. Jy kan ook sien sy nageslag. Ek dink hy is nie op die wille wat die meeste ballers het in ons spele, want ons vers kom so baie keer. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, lot number 1 meneer. Kijk, daar calling is 109, perfecte bol meneer. Hy die Mustang-lijne, wat hy in die loop, ook so 500.000 rand en 20 meter meneer. Hier is hy steek en hy steek in die wil meneer. Alright, gentlemen, where we stop? 150,000, 200,006, 100,006, 40,000, 45. 45,000, 50,000 now, 50,000, 55, 55, 60,000, yes sir, and now 65,000 now, 65,000, 65, 70,000 now, 75, 75, 75, 75, 80,000, yes sir, and I'm 80,000, 80,000 he says here, and I'm 85, 90,000 now, at 90,000, 90,000, 90,000 no, and I'm 90,000, yes sir, and I'm 90,000 he says, at 90,000 now, and I'm 90,000, yes sir, across the way, at 90,000 he says here, 100,000 now, Malcolm, and I have 100,000, and I have 100,000, and I have 100,000, yes sir, and I have 100,000 across the way, go one more. At 100,000 he says go once. At 100,000 he says go twice. At 100,000 he says one tick, one tick, one tick, one tick, one tick, one tick he says. At 110,000 he says here. At 110,000 he says here, yes I go one more. At 110,000 he says go one more according. At 110,000 I said him once, twice, third last time gentlemen, around the ring is gonna be sold. At 110,000, bye, dankie, om afvermaak net 'n lekker klap vir die eerste deel van die veiling. Baie number 35. Alright, gentlemen, so met die kant, baie number 35 vir 110,000. Alright, gentlemen, lot number 2, meneer. Lot number 2, gentlemen, lot number 2. Ag, hy is lot 13, as kies of bling, ons bring lot 2, sorry. Wat ek dit so gehad het, ons gaan na lot 2 toe, meneer. Alright, gentlemen, lot number 2 is a Deel cab seer, meneer. Ek vertel hy V8 19265, which goes back to hulp, meneer. As nie wil het hulp kan met Deel cab en baie presiese goeie bil aan die ding, meneer. Alright, gentlemen, where do we start? 100,000 he says here, at 100,000 he says, 40,000 off, 45, 45,000, 50,000, yes sir, 55, 60,000 off, 60,000 he says here, 65, 65,000, 70,000 off, 70,000, 75, 75, 80,000 bid, and I have 80,000 off, 90,000 he says here, 100,000 no, and I have 100,000 off, 100,000 he says 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 120 mark, 120, 120, 120, 40, 140, 140, 140, 140, what do we say? 140, 60, 160, 180, 180, 180, 20,000 bid, and I have 20,000 off, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000 no, and I have 20,000 yes sir, and I have 20,000 across the way, 200,000 he says go one more. Is there also? Is there one? 200,000 he says, 200,000 he says, say for like commercial Boer is al 225,000. 200,000 he says, maar dankie vir die hulp, en ek gaan aan Christian en Mika Boete vir 200,000 he says, and I say for 200,000, baie dankie, lot, tot Alright, gentlemen, what do we say there? Lot number 3, he's nou weer Kijk, ek wil wat jou skip af van Deel, ek dink is die eerste, is al nie die grootste bil, maar ek dink is die eerste Beefmaster in die bedrijf. Hierdie bil beteken serious geenkanners. Op wat af, jy wil is verseker teken deur as ook, maar alright, ladies and gentlemen, what do we say there? 100,000 he says, 100,000 he says, 50,000, 40,000, 45, 45, 50, 50,000 off, 55, 55, 60,000 Malcolm, 65, 65, 70,000, 70,000, 80, Dolly 20, 80,000 he says here, 85, 85, 90,000 bid, and 90,000 yes sir, and 90,000 he says here, and 90,000, 90,000, 90,000 no, and 90,000 off, and 90,000 he says here, and 90,000 no, and 90,000 I just go one more, and 90,000 he says here, 95, 95, and 100,000 off Boer, 100,000 he says, and I have 100,000 he says here, and I have 100,000, and I have 100,000 yes sir, and I have 100,000 I'll take 110, and I have 100,000 there, and 100,000 he says going once, and 100,000 he says going twice, and 100,000 he said third and last time gentlemen, and 100,000 and sold for 100,000 by dankie daarvoor nie? 7, koper nummer 7. Alright gentlemen, nou lot nummer 4 meneer. Alright gentlemen, die was namens Texas meneer, hy is uitstekende bol meneer, soetbol, hy verdeel baie goed goeie weer meneer. Alright gentlemen, kyk daar so. Alright, what do we say? It goes back to OKT 15113 meneer. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? Lekker weer in die bos, hier is 'n massiewe bol meneer. Dit is 'n uitstekende massiewe bol, die goeie beerte. What do we say? 300,000 he says here, 200,000. 100,000, 50,000, 50,000, 55, 60, 70,000, 70,000, 80,000, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000, 100,000 he says, 100,000 he says, 120, 120, 140, 140, 140, 160, 160, 160, 80, 180, 180, 200,000 off, 200,000, 225, 225, 250, 250, 250, 275, 300,000 off, and 300,000 off, and 325, 325, 350, 350, 400,000 off, and 400,000 yes sir, and 400,000 goes away, and 400,000 he says yeah, and 400,000 going once, and 400,000 is next to it over, and 400,000 is he does over here, and 400,000 yes sir, and 400,000 he says yeah, and 400,000 he says going once together, and 400,000 he says going twice, and 400,000 he says third and last one. Ladies and gentlemen, at 400,000 I sell him at 400,000 and sold at 400,000 at the lekker aan het klap dan Christian in Mika Boete. Wat is die koop van dit van? Baie number 20 van VRR Beefmasters wel tevrede met die hardste Beefmaster. Alright gentlemen, what do we say lot number 5 here? He is nou a baie goeie building here. Uitstekende wil meer is 'n seun van natuurlike 17160 meneer, 17160 is 'n California seun meneer, of natuurlik die 18191 meneer. Wat teruggaan na die silvermeriete koei OKT 14114 meneer. Hierdie wil baie goeie eienskappe hê. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? And let's start the variant. 200,000 he says, 100,000 yes sir, 50,000 off, 50,000 he says, 55, 60 dollars off, 70,000, 70,000, 80, 80, 90,000 he says, 100,000 but no, 100,000, 100,000, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, 40, 140, 160, 160, 160, 180, 180, 20,000 off, and at 20,000 he says yeah, at 20,000 he says yeah, and at 20,000 yes sir, and at 20,000 goes away, at 20,000 he says, and at 20,000 bid, and at 20,000 he says da, at 20,000 he says go one more, and at 20,000 is not working. And at 200,000 he says going once, and at 200,000 he says going twice, at 200,000 he says going third and last time here, at 200,000 he says selling a time at 200,000 and sold by Boer here, buyer number 5, buyer number 5 for 200,000. Lot number 6 here, lot number 6, lot number 6. Alright gentlemen, what do we say here? Here's a Hilux here, here's an uitstekende bil here. Hilux op OKT 17202. Alright gentlemen, what do we say here? Dis 'n baie goeie bil hier. Alright gentlemen, hy dra homself baie goed, hy sterk hakke hier, hy baie goeie been vir Hilux hier. Dis regtig 'n 4-heel bil. And what do we say? At 100,000 he says here 50,000, 55, 60, 70, 80, 80,000, 90,000 he says, 100,000 our Boer, and 100,000 he says here, and 100,000 he says here, what do we say? 120, 120, 40, 140, 140, 140, 160, 160, 180, 180, 200,000 our Boer, and at 200,000 he says here, at 20,000, at 20,000, at 200,000 no, and at 20,000 he says here, yes sir, and at 20,000 he says here one more, and at 200,000 he says yes sir, at 200,000, 25, 225, 225, 225, yes sir, and at 225 he says here 50, 250, and at 250, and at 250, yes sir, and at 250, but at 250, 275, and at 275, and at 275, yes sir, and at 275 he says here go one more, and at 275 he says go one more, at 275,000 he says selling according, at 275,000 he says selling, and sold. Bye donkey, and buy number 5, Majesto Beefmasters here. Bye donkey, and the tube to see up. Alright gentlemen, lot number 7 here. He's a buy goeie aanbieding hier. Ek hou baie van die wil. He's regtig op koers. Hy kan teen like 1438 meer wat hy 1050 uitkom wat 'n soliede koei was. At 225 he says, at 225 he says yeah, and at 225,000, 250, and at 250, and at 250, but at 250, but at 250, yes sir, and at 250, but at 250, but at 250, but no, at 250,000 he says going once, at 250,000 he says going twice, third and last time gentlemen, at 250,000 and I say 250,000, buy donkey, buy number 5, goes back to natuurlijk naar kosten, meneer, Majesto Beefmasters. Hier is een blok van de machine, meneer. Baie geluk. Alright, gentlemen, wat is er over nou gekomen? Ik neem maar eens een lot 7. Zeker lot 7, wat is er lot 13? Alright, gentlemen, lot nummer 7, meneer. Lot nummer 7, meneer. Alright, gentlemen, what do we say? Hier is een baie goeie reactie, meneer. Hierdie wil dra ongelooflike vleis in sy binne en buite lê. Alright gentlemen, what do we say here? Here nou lot nummer 7 meneer, lot nummer 7. Hier is 'n uitstekende bil meneer. Hy dra regtig baie vleis in sy binne en buite lê. Hy het goeie hakke meneer. Baie goeie vleiseienskappe. Alright gentlemen, is 'n Hilux seer meneer. En hy is verteel hy V8 17102 wat na Magnum toe gaan meneer. So hy Magnum aan die moeder se kant en hy Hilux aan die pa se kant meneer. So vleis en melk is daar baie van. Alright gentlemen, 100,000 he says, 40,000, 45, 45,000, 50,000 off, 50,000 or 50,000 or 55 or 55 or 55, 60,000 off, and a 65 off, and a 65, 70,000, yes sir, and a 70,000, 75, he says, 75, what do we say? That's 75,000 off, and a 75,000, 80,000, and I have 80,000, 85, and I have 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 90,000 off, 90,000 in length, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, I'll take 105. 100,000 he says. 100,000 he says. He says, step in the boat, regtig waar. 110, 110, 110, even more. 110, 110 he says. 110 bid. 110 he says here. At 110,000, I'll take one more. At 110,000 he's not going to sell. At 110,000 selling a time. At 110,000 and sold to Stefan Strauss for 110,000. Baie geluk Stefan. Net as ek koop nommer Stefan. 27, baie number 27 Stefan Strauss. Baie geluk Stefan. Jy gaan baie geluk is met die wil. En dit koop ek jou reg adviseer daar. Dit is reg baie dankie koop. Baie dankie hoor. Ek wil dit sê baie dankie. Baie dankie hoor. Baie dankie. Daar sê meneer lot nummer 8 meneer lot nummer 8. Alright gentlemen. Hier wil dan nie gee nie meneer. Hier is natuurlik uitstekende bil. Hy wil dan nie gee nie meneer. Is 'n Highland seendie en is 'n verskriklike goeie bil meneer. Alright gentlemen, what do we say there? Hy's 'n breeder op Highland 1685 meneer en dis Verstappen se volboetie meneer. Kyk die breedte in die bors van die bil. Hy's regtig baie goeie uitstekende bil meneer. Hy langs al baie goed. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? 40,000 he says. I get 40,000 on me. 40,000 off, 45, 45, 45, 50,000 off, 50, 55, 55, 60,000, 60,000 he says, 65, 65, 65, 70,000 over Archie, 75, 80, 80,000 he says here, and 85, 90,000 over Merman, 90,000, 100,000, 100,000 off Boer, 110 off Boer, 110, 110, 20, 120, 120, 140, 140 over Archie, 150 over 80, 150, 150 he says, and I 150 over 150 is a goeie gold in here, and I 150 over 150 over 150 but no, and I 150 yes sir, 150 he says here, and at 150 says go according. At 150,000 is I'm going to sell. At 150,000, 160, 160, 160 is not far. 160, 160, 170, 170, 170, 170, 170 is over 80, 170, 170 is still according. 170 says, 170 is not going here, and at 170, 170, 170, 180, 180, 180 is no Kenya, 180 is no spot here, and at 180, 200,000 off, and at 20,000 he says here, at 20,000 he says here, at 20,000 is no Kenya, and at 20,000 he says off, at 20,000 go one more, at 20,000 he says go, yes sir! Again, lack off to see what I will know that. 20,000 he says go according, at 200,000 I'm going to sell, but I don't get off the old corner, and 200,000 and I sell, 200,000 to buyer number 5. Alright gentlemen, nou lot nummer 9 meneer. Ek dra op in die meneer, dit is 'n New York seun. Dis die enigste New York seun daar wat ons het meneer. Baie goeie bil. Alright gentlemen, hierdie bil praat vir homself. Dis regtig waar 'n uitstekende bil meneer. Alright gentlemen, and what do we say then? 100,000 surely gentlemen, but I start at 40,000 40,000, 45. 45, 50, 50,000 off, 55, 55, 60,000, 70, 80,000, and I have 80,000, 80,000, 80,000, no, and I have 80,000, yes sir, and I have 80,000, go one more, and I have 80,000, he says yeah, and I have 80,000 bid, and I have 80,000, yes sir, 80,000, 80,000, 80,000, no, 85,000, Connie, and I have 85,000, he says go one more, 85,000, yes sir, and I have 85,000, he says yeah, and I have 85, 85, 90, and I have 90,000 off, 90,000, 90,000, 90,000, 90,000, no, and I have 90,000, he says yeah, 90,000, 90,000, he says yes sir, I have 90,000 bid, I have 90,000, go 100, go, so 100,000, 100,000 by Stefan Strauss. Ek kom goeie wille vanaf Stefan, ek kan sê jy is nie regte by om vanaf mee te praat oor Beefmasters, al baie dan. 100,000, yeah, I have 100,000 bid no, I have 100,000 off, I have 100,000 bid yes sir, I have 100,000, 110, 110, 110. Dis 'n genuine board hoor Stefan, ek dalk nie reg kan hoor. Dis regtig nie net wat ek wil hê. 110, 110 he says, 110, 110, at 110,000 he says yeah, at 100 is a top gold meneer. At 110,000 go once, at 110,000 he says go twice, at 110,000 jy's 100% seker jy staan, nee? Okay, baie dankie. 110,000 and so. Maar baie dankie vir hulp en baie dankie op meer kant for 110,000 to buyer 518. Awesome meneer. Sê meneer, lot nummer 10 meneer. Hier is net so 'n goeie billetjie hier meneer. Hy is lekker breed. Dis 'n goeie billetjie meneer. Hy sal skien hulle steel. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? 100,000 he says here, 40,000, 45, 50,000 now, 55, 60,000 bid, 60,000, 65, 70,000 now, 70,000 at 75, at 75,000 at 75,000 at 75,000, no. Yeah, he was all serious here first. 75,000 he says yes sir, at 75,000 at 75,000 at 75,000, no. And at 75,000 is our lunch book fuck nearer, and at 75,000 I'll go 80, and at 75,000 yes sir. At 75,000, that's option to back here placed in here. 75,000 he says going once. At 75,000 he says going twice. At 75,000 he says selling a time here. 75,000 hammers up, selling a time. At 75,000 and sold to 75,000 to Margaral Boer here. As a buyer, wat zijn we? 7, dankie koning. Dankie vir jou hulp koning. Lot number 11 meneer. He's nou 'n baie goeie Kalahari seelie meneer. He's regtig waar, hy uitstekende Kalahari seelie meneer. Alright gentlemen, what do we say here? He's 'n goeie bil meneer. And he's a 22 gentlemen, he's uitstekende bil. 100,000 he says. 50,000, 50,000, 55, 55, 60,000 now, and at 60,000 yes sir, and at 65, and at 65,000, 70,000 now, at 75, 75, 75, 75 go yes sir, and at 75,000 bid, and at 75,000 he says yeah, at 75,000 he says go one more, and at 75,000 now, at 75, 80, and at 80,000 he won't skull, and at 80,000 now, and at 80,000, 80,000 no, and at 80,000 he says go one more, I'll take 85, and at 80,000 he says yeah yes sir, and at 85,000 now, and at 85,000 always the fun. 85, 85, 85, 85, 90,000. Yes. 90,000, 90,000, 90,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000 he says, 100,000 he says, 100,000 he says, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, 110, and 110,000 I'll take 110, 110 he says here. At 110,000 he says, I'll take one more chance here. At 110,000 he says going once. At 110,000 he says going twice. 120, 120, 120, 120, 120. Moet dit nie jou vrou sê, ons sal die fakture maand maak, dit is nie waar, en dit is lekker uit so dit. And at 120 he says, you go one more. At 120,000 is a third. At 120,000 I'm going to sell him. At 120,000 and sold to Stefan Strauss for 120,000. Bye donkey Stefan. Buy number 27. 70,000, 75, 75, 75, 75, 80, 80,000, 85, and I'm 85, and I'm 85,000, 85,000 he says here, and I'm 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, but no, and I'm 85,000, yes sir, and I'm 85,000, 90,000 upward, 90,000 up, 100,000, 100,000, 110, 110, 110, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, 130 upward, 130, 136, 130 is still your corner, 130 is upward, 130, 136, 130, is okay now can we so here? Let's go up for 130, 136, 130, 130, 130 is down here, and at 130 yes sir, 140, 140, 140, 50 over 80, and at 150 yes sir, and at 150, and at 150, and at 150 go one more, there's a clear building here, and at 150, and at 150, and at 150 yes sir, at 150,000 it says going once, at 150,000 it says going twice, at 150,000 it says still the last time gentlemen, at 150,000, and I sell him at 150,000 and sold. Number 5. Sy meneer, ons het lot 13 opgestel meneer. Sy lot nummer 14 meneer. Hier is ook 'n baie goeie harde wil die meneer. Regtig waar. En is 'n boena wil meneer, is 'n wil wat hulle sal steek hulle steel. Okay gentlemen, what do we say then? 100,000 now. 40, 45, 45, 50, 50,000 off, 55, 55, 60,000, yes sir, and I have 60,000 off, 65, everyone stop, 70,000 off work, 70,000, 75, 75, yes sir, 75, 80,000, everyone stop, and I have 80,000 off, and I have 80,000 off, and I have 80,000 off, go fine, and I have 80,000, yes sir, and I have 80,000, senior one, is sort of fun, and I have 80,000 off, take fine, 85, 85,000. I have 85, 90,000, yes sir. I have 90,000, he says yeah. I have 90,000, he says yeah. I have 90,000, yes sir. I have 90,000 across the way. At 90,000, at 90,000, he says 100,000 per month. 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. Is geen meerkat, is geen piet. En 100,000 is hier voor gemaakt vermaak. En 100,000, he says. En 100,000, he says. En 100,000, he says, vir hy mint in die bal, meneer. En 100,000, he says. Selling at time, all done, and sold at 100,000. Buy down to your aunt. It's a 3-5. Now, Senora, he said to buy young gold, all right, gentlemen, what do we say? Buy for your gold, let a young gold here. My dog self will put the food. All right, gentlemen, what do we say? 100,000, he says here. 40,000 now, 45, 45, 50. And I have 50,000 now. It's off your next pick off the legal. And I have 50,000 now. And I have 50,000, yes sir. And I have 50,000, he says here. 55,000 now. And I have 55, 55, 55, 55, 60 now in water. I give him a roll. Yara. 60,000, 60,000, 65, 65, 65, 65,000. 70,000 on your water, 70,000, yes sir, and I have 70,000 now, and I have 20,000, 70,000. Donkey, water. So you beat the snip from Mark 2. So, guys are on virus. What is the number? Number 8, buy number 8, on your phone. Lot number 16, water buy on your number. And my power there now. Haa, sy meneer, lot nummer 16 meneer, baie goeie bil, daar goeie vleiseienskappe meneer. Alright. Haa, sy meneer, 100,000, he says 40,000 now, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 50, 55 down, 60,000 by Malcolm, 65, 65, 70,000 by Malcolm, 75, 75, 80,000 by Malcolm. At 85,000 is over sell, at 85,000 once, twice, third and last time, gentlemen, at 85,000 and sold. 85,000, buy number 6, Ankie Paulus. Waterrijk, boerderij meneer, Ankie. Lot 17 meneer, hier is een baie goeie bal meneer, lot nummer 17. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? Hy dra homself baie goed hier billetje meneer. Alright gentlemen, 100,000, 40,000, 45, 45, 50,000 now 50,000, 55, 55, 60,000 now, 60,000, 65 now Boer. That's 65, 70,000, that's 70,000, 70,000, 70,000, I'll take 5. That's 70,000, 70,000, 70,000 no. And that's 70,000, yes sir. That's 70, that's 70,000, yes sir. And that's 70,000 across the way, I'll take 5. That's 70,000, he says. And that's 70,000 now. At 70,000, he says, I was upselling at time. At 70,000, and so that's 70,000, you could buy second above 70,000. Buy number 71. Alright gentlemen, now lot number 18 meneer. Lot nummer 18 meneer. Ons is al amper halfpad in die bille daar meneer. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? Hier's 'n baie goeie bal getrek, weer 17,160 meneer. Alright gentlemen, what do we say here? What do we say? Hier's 'n baie lekker billetjie, dra homself beskiklik goed. 100,000, 40,000, 45. 45, 50, 55,000 now by Malcolm, and 55,000 now, and 55,000, 55,000, 55,000, 60,000, yes sir, and 60,000, 60,000, 65, 65, 70,000, 70,000. I have 70,000, 70,000, 70,000, no. I have 70,000, yes sir. That's 70,000, 70,000, 70,000 bid. I have 70,000, I'll take 5. That's 70,000. That's 70,000, 75 by Malcolm. I have 75, 80. I have 80,000. I have 80,000. I have 80,000, he says yeah. I have 80,000 bid. I have 80,000, he says yeah. I have 80,000 now. At 18,000 is links, meneer. I have 80,000, go one more. I have 80,000, I'll take 5. At 80,000, 85. 85. 90,000. 90,000. 90,000. Was het Deel gehad? 2 bulle vir 100. It makes the cake. 90,000 all done, gentlemen. At 90,000, he says I'm going to sell to James from Apollo for 90,000. Buy donkey, Jamesy. Buy number 19, James from Apollo. Alright, meneer, nou lot nummer 19, meneer. Lot nummer 19. Opgeteld uit die uit 17,160, meneer. Alright, gentlemen, what do we say there? He's a buy. 100,000, 40,000, 45, 45, 50,000 now, 55, 55, 55, 60, 65 by Polis, 70,000 by Malcolm, 75 now by Polis, 75, 80,000. I have 80,000, 85, I have 85, I have 85,000 now Boer, I have 85,000 now Boer, I have 85,000 he says yeah, I have 85,000 he says yeah, 90,000 now by Malcolm, I have 90,000 yes sir, I have 90,000 he says yeah, I have 90,000 by Malcolm, I have 90,000 yes sir, and not, I'll take 5 meneer, I'll take 5, at 19,000 he says go one more, I'll take 5, at 19,000 he says I'm going to sell, at 90,000, and sold at 90,000 to Malcolm Cook, yeah? Buy number 37. Meneer, lot nummer 20, meneer. He's a buy goeie building, meneer. Alright, gentlemen. 100,000 he says here, 40,000 now, 45, 45, 50, 60, 70,000 now, 75, 75, 80,000 now, we Polish, 85 by Malcolm, 90,000 now, Boer, 90,000, 90,000, 90,000, 90,000, no, I have 90,000, 95, come on, I have 95,000, yes sir, I have 95,000 he says here, I have 95,000 he says here, at 95,000 he says I'm going to sell 100,000, 100,000, 105 per month, 105, 110, 110, 110, 110, I get 110 by Malcolm for fun. I get 110 by Malcolm for the stock. 115, 115, 115, at 115,000 he says here, at 115,000, 120 per month, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120 he says, 120 he says, 120 he says, at 120,000 he says all done, at 120,000 he says go one more, at 120,000 sold to hom uit, baie geluk om aan te neem, bakkies met die eerste bouw, wat baie goed verkoop, wat is dat nou wat? This is the first class last time here, what do we say? Lot number lot number 21 meneer. Okay, lekker buildie meneer. Hier is ook een baie lekker buildie. Lots of baie goed meneer. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? 100,000 he says, 40,000 up, 45, 45, 45, 50,000 up, 55, 60,000 up, 60,000, 65, 65, 65, 70,000 up, that's 70, 75, 80,000 up, 20, and I have 80,000 up, and I have 80,000, yes sir, and I have 80,000 is next month here, and I have 80,000 is senior quotas, and I have 80,000 is next year, and I have 80,000 up, 80,000, 80,000, 80,000 he says, Amazon selling a time at 80,000 and I selling at 80,000. Lot number 22 meneer. Hier is ook een lekker despolitie, hier is ook meneer. Als meneer, lot nummer 22 meneer. Hier is een lekker Sputnik meneer. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? 100,000 he says, 40,000 now, 45, 45, 50,000 baby. 55,000 is sold at 55 steel stock, 55,000 is sold, and 55,000 up, 55, 55,000 bid, and 55, 60,000 up, and 60,000 bid, yes sir, and 65, and 65, he's a fair belly, and 65,000 up, and 65,000 up. And get on. But I am the Liverpool, 70,000. Is a yoga. There was a yoga. Where? 65 was off. Take long here. Didn't you like Praat? Was it like Praat? This is my goals. This is that. 65 by Basil and so. 5 by Basil if the way believe it will work. Buy number 9. Senhora, isso vai vir gold. Lot number 23, yeah. Lot number 23, isso vai vir gold. Alright, gentlemen, what do we say there? 100,000, 40,000 up, 45, 45, 50,000 up, 50,000, 55, 55, 60,000 bid, 60,000, 65, 70, 70,000 up, 75, 75, 80, and 80,000 up, and 80,000 is next. Next 85, and 85,000, yes sir, and 85, 90, and 90,000 up, and 90,000, yes sir, and 90,000 over the way, at 90,000 he says here, at 90,000, 95, 95, 95,000, 95,000, 95,000 he says, 95,000 he says, go one more, at 95,000 he says I'm going to sell, at 95,000, and sold at 95,000, my coupon number is 521 for 95,000. Lot number 24, what I'm coming there. Lot number 24, what I'm coming down here. Alright, gentlemen. These are fully accepted very 40,000 up, 45, 50, 55, 60,000 up on both ends, 60,000 ATAC, and I get 60,000 up, 60,000, 60,000, 60,000, 60,000 as he saw, and 60,000 he says, so I'm selling at time, and 60,000, and say meneer, hier is baie gebil hier meneer. 50,000 up, 55, 55.
Lot 25 verkoop vir 100,000.
Say lot number 26 meneer. Lot number 26 meneer. Hier is ook 'n bil wat van baie goeie steek. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? 40,000 up, 45, 45, 50,000 bid, 55,000 up, 55,000, 55,000, like clear people here. 55,000, 55,000, 55,000, no, and 55,000 up. 55,000 he says yes sir, and 55,000 yes sir, and 55,000 he says very welcome, and 55,000 I'll take 60, 55, 55, 55,000 is what I sell, and 55,000 he says selling at time, at 55,000. And sold to buy number 40 for 55,000. I'll say lot number 27 here. Alright gentlemen, what do we say there? Lot number 27 here. You should go buy ability. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? 100,000 down. 40,000, 45, 45,000, 50,000 up, 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, no, and 50,000, yes sir, and 50,000 I'll take 5, 55, 55,000 up, 55,000 I'll take 60, 55,000, 55,000, 55,000, no, and 55,000, yes sir, 55, 55, 55,000 is what I'm going to sell, and 55,000 is what I'm going to sell, and 55,000, and so, young Neil's deployed. buyer number 32 for 55,000. Nou lot number 2 uit meneer, hè? Lot number 28, meneer. He's a buy playability. 40,000 now, 45, 45, 50,000 now, 55, 60,000 now, 65, 65, 70,000, 70,000, 70,000, 70,000, 70,000, yes sir. And I have 70,000 now. That's 70,000, 75 he saw. 75 he can bought it. 80,000 Boer. And I have 80,000 he says here. And I have 80,000, yes sir. And I have 80,000 he says here. And I have 85. And I have 85 is the owner. And I have 85,000, yes sir. And I have 85,000 here. And I have 85,000, I'll take one more. And I have 85,000 he says here, yes sir. And 85,000 as myself. At 85,000 he says once for my third last time, gentlemen. At 85,000 and so. Buyer number 10. Donkey, buy donkey. I can't one king too. I broke it and donkey, buy donkey say. Alright gentlemen, lot number 2, 9 here. Lot number 2, 9. Haas meneer. Haas en hier is ook een goede beleidje meneer. Alright gentlemen, what do we say? 50,000 up, 40,000, 45, 45, 45, 50,000 up, 50,000, 55, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75,000 up in Polish, and 75,000 up, 75,000, 75,000, 75,000, no, and I have 75,000, yes sir, and I have 75,000, go one more, at 75,000 all done, at 75,000, and sold at 75,000 buyer number 6, so the first lot number 29. Number 6. Haas and Mira, what do we say? Haas and Mira, 40,000 up, 45, he's a hard debate here. 45, 50,000 up, 55, 55, 60,000, 65, 65, 65, 65,000, 70,000 up, and that's 70,000, yes sir, and that's 70,000, he says here, that's 70, that's 70,000 go, and that's 75, and that's 75, 75, 80,000, and I have 80,000, and I have 80,000, he says here, and I have 80,000 bid, and I have 80,000, says go one more, at 18,000, he says all done, at 80,000, donkey, toch. Buyer number 17 for 80,000. Donkey Carling 1, baie geluk met uitstekende koop.